It's early in the morning, but we are feeling just fine. So there in 90 minutes gets us all in line. News, views, and entertainment galore. Tune in to House of Hope Radio 100.5 FM. It's never a bore.
So there in 19 minutes, the current affairs show. Join us every weekday from 7 to half past 8, we know. We bring the latest news and analysis too. Just tune in to Hands of Hope Radio 100.5 FM. It's the thing to do.
We cover the issues from all across the land. Our team of experts provides views also grand, from politics to sports and everything in between. You won't miss a thing when you listen to us. It's clear and keen.
So there in 19 minutes, the current affairs show. Join us every weekday from 7 to half past 8, we know. We bring the latest news and analysis too. Just tune in to Hands Radio 100.5 FM. It's the thing to do. To be a part of the show, drop us a message or two. Just news and analysis too.
Just tune in to Hands of Hope Radio 100.5 FM. It's the thing
It's
to
early
do.
in the morning,
We cover the
but we
issues
are
from
feeling
all
just
across the
fine.
land.
So there
Our team
in
of
90
experts
minutes gets
provides
us all
views
in line.
also grand,
News,
from
views,
politics to
and
sports and
entertainment
everything
galore.
in between.
Tune
You
in to
won't miss
House
a
of Hope
thing
Radio
when you listen to us.
100.5
It's clear
FM.
and
It's
keen.
never a
So
bore.
there in 19 minutes, the current affairs show. Join us every weekday from 7 to half past 8, we know. We bring the latest news and analysis too.
Just tune in to Hands of Hope Radio 100.5 FM. It's the thing to do.
To be a part of the show,
cover the
drop
issues
us a
from
message
all
or
across
two.
the land.
Just send a
Our team of
text to
experts
090
provides views
001
also
005.
from politics
We'll
to
come
sport
through.
and
Or
everything
leave a
in
comment
between.
on our
You
Facebook
won't miss
page.
a thing
With today
when
in
you
19
listen to
minutes,
us.
you will
It's
be the
clear
sage.
and keen.
So there in 19 minutes, the current affairs show. Join us every weekday from 7 to half past 8, we know. We bring the latest news and analysis too.
Just tune in to Hands of Hope Radio 100.5 FM.
The Oman, the radio, is the thing to do. A message or two. Just send a text to 090 001 005. We'll come through. Or leave a comment on our Facebook page. With today in 90 minutes, you'll be the sage. So there in 19 minutes, the current affairs show.
It's
Join us
early
every
in the
weekday
morning,
from
but we are
7 to
feeling
half
just
past 8,
fine.
we know.
So there
We
in
bring the
90
latest
minutes
news
gets us
and
all in
analysis
line.
too.
News,
Just tune in
views,
to
and
Hands of Hope
entertainment
Radio
galore. Tune in to House of Hope Radio 100.5 FM. It's never a bore.
So there in 19 minutes, the current affairs show. Join us every weekday from 7 to half past 8, we know. We bring the latest news and analysis too.
Just tune in to Hands of Hope Radio 100.5 FM. It's the thing to do. We cover the issues from
early in
all
the
across
morning,
the land.
but we are
Our
feeling
team of
just
experts
fine.
provides
So
views
there in 90
also
minutes
grand,
gets us
from
all in
politics to
line.
sports and
News,
everything in
views,
between.
and
You won't
entertainment
miss a
galore.
thing when
Tune
you listen
into
to
House
us.
of Hope
It's
Radio
clear and keen.
100.5
So there in
FM.
19
It's
minutes,
never
the
a
current
bore.
affairs show. Join us every weekday from 7 to half past 8, we know. We bring the latest news and analysis too. We bring the
Just
latest
tune
news
in to
and
Hands of
analysis
Hope Radio
too.
100.5 FM. It's the thing to do.
To be a part of the show, drop us a message or
We
two.
cover the issues
Just send a
from
text to
all across the
090
land. Our team of
001
experts provide
005.
views
We'll
also
come through.
grand,
Or
from
leave a
politics
comment
to
on our
sports and
Facebook
everything
page.
in
With
between.
today in
You
90
won't
minutes,
miss a
you will
thing
be the
when you
sage.
listen to
So
us.
there in
It's
90
clear
minutes,
and
the
keen.
current affairs show. Join us every weekday from 7 to half past 8, we know. We bring the latest news and analysis too.
Just tune in to Hands of Hope Radio 100.5 FM.
The Oman, then radio.
It's the thing to
To be a
do.
part of the show, drop us a message or two. Just send a text to 090 001 005. We'll come through. Or leave a comment on our Facebook page. With Today in 90 Minutes, you will be the sage. Today in 90 Minutes, the
It's
current
early in the
affairs
morning,
show.
but we
Join
are
us every
feeling just
weekday
fine.
from
So
7
there
to
in
half
90
past 8.
minutes,
We
get
know
us all
we
in
bring the
line.
latest news
News,
and
views,
analysis too.
and entertainment
Just tune
galore.
in to Hands
Tune
of
into
Hope
Hands
Radio
of Hope Radio
100.5
100.5
FM.
FM.
Demand,
It's never a
then
bore.
radio. So
It's
there
the
in
thing to
90
do.
minutes, the current affairs show. Join us every weekday from 7 to half past 8. We know we bring the latest
Wednesday,
news
19th
and
day of
analysis
October
too.
2023.
Just
Good
tune
morning
in
and
to
welcome to
Hands of
Hands of
Hope
Hope Radio
Radio 100.5
FM in
FM.
Freetown.
It's the
We are
thing to
broadcasting live
do.
from our studios at 28 Party Street, Kington. It's another edition of our daily current affairs program, Today 90 Minutes, live on Hands of Hope Radio 100.5 FM. And we want to apologize for bringing the program late to you today. Today 90 Minutes is a program where we bring you in-depth analysis and discussions on the latest happenings across the country. You can also get us live on our Facebook page, Hands of Hope Radio 100.5 FM, The Woman Dem Radio. Well, I'm your host for today's episode, Erica Ruth Bangura. Our inspirational quote for today says, "Strength is when you have so much to cry for, but you prefer to smile instead." Well, in today's edition of the program, Today in 90 Minutes, People's Congress Party resumes governance after successful 3 days dialogue. And community voices in Freetown share insights on breast cancer causes, medical experts to provide clarification. And in today's edition of our program, we are honored to welcome a true beacon of strength and compassion to our studio. Our distinguished guest, Khadija Kone, is an oncology nurse of the esteemed Thinking Pink Breast Cancer Foundation. With a wealth of experience and heart filled with empathy, Cares has dedicated her life to supporting and empowering women on their breast cancer journey. As we commemorate Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October, we are privileged to have her share her expertise, insights, and also share with us inspirational stories. Well, I want to welcome with us Khadija Kone.
Yes.
Good morning, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Good morning.
All right, continue to stay with us in the program and don't forget, these and more are lined up in this edition of the program. Today in 90 minutes, continue to stay with us for the next 1 hour.
It's early in the morning, but we are feeling just fine.
We cover the
So there
issues
in
from
90
all
minutes,
across the
get us
land.
all in
Our team
line.
of experts
News,
provides
views,
views
and
also
entertainment.
grand. From politics to sports and everything in between. You won't miss a thing when you listen to us. It's clear and keen.
So there in 19 minutes, the current affairs show. Join us every weekday from 7 to half past 8. We know we bring the latest news and analysis too.
Just tune in to Hands of Hope Radio 100.5 FM. It's the thing to do.
To be a part of the show, drop us a message or two. Just send a text to 090 001 005. We'll come through.
And you can also get us live on our Facebook page, Hands of Hope Radio 100.5 FM, The Woman Dem Radio, and also on our YouTube channel, Hands of Hope Radio. You can also get us live there. Well, don't forget you can also contribute to the program by sending a text message to the number 090 001 005 or 078 1624 61. We'll start the program about our first story in an exclusive interview. Abubakar Kamara, affectionately known as the Pipe King, urges young people grappling with drug addiction to participate in the Love of Christ Foundation's forthcoming 5-day program with the theme My Community, My Responsibility, Coach No to Food. This initiative promises to empower physically challenged individuals and young community members, offering a glimmer of hope and transformation. Let's hear what he said exactly.
Love Christ Foundation are this kind of interdenominational foundation where they cater for persons living with disability. We want for bring hope back to them people in also because them people also be the lost them hope. Want for restore them dignity because we find out say the churches we making normally say don't neglect them responsibility, not they do it in supposed for do. So we want for bring them people in also back to God when our first aim and secondly for make them people are so self-independent and forget dignity in themselves and therefore they do something with their life.
Which are some of the una activities them here so way una don't dey do for able for reach out to una targeted group when have people with physically challenged?
Every year February we dey gather in our one place which we they can worship with them and feed them for 3 days. Now we they go take them, pay for them transport, come with them. After the program, we go left them where we call the worship and feeding. Why make we together so? For me, they no say they're important. Now for me, they no say they say get right for worship God. Because most of the time that we can make we worship program, then our church we thanksgiving there, we dinner them, we not even cater for them. We not even give even one for nobody them. Then say one for showcase waiting and get. So we can give them chance for me them preach, for me them play instruments, for let them worship, let them say feel happy. So that's one way we they do. And we get the other way now, morning breakfast. We will go meet the outside and this time around we go take them during the rain season because we meant for understand say most of them are after they don't bake and then they able forget food for it. So monitoring we can go with pots and all of them things and make tea for them, give them bread, encourage them, talk to them. We get with hospital visitation because we meant for no see picking in a corner, cottage and all of the hospital. Now they left it on disabled. Give them hope, pay for them bills, sort out some certain key things them way. I'm imagine say I go to hospital and they tell me say for treat the person glove, not the glove, ordinary glove. So first we ever go buy glove. So these are some of the things that we can do. Get with empowerment program. If you want for make garage, if you want for go school, you want for go this, we can able for empower them.
We make for understand so now they come up with a 5 days camping program with physically challenged people and young people. So what really prompt una for take this move here so?
We all know the pandemic where they happen when a kush, where a lot of people just they talk and because they want for talk, but they know the danger where they cause. A lot of young people they die, young people and they suffer. Family them they in shame. Some family then they no get mind point see this na they picking. Because just imagine where the urge don't camp and then the thief pot cover and the thief half back, ordinary half back. So all of them things then they we see family then they cry. And we know say we not supposed for sit down as young people them now with duty and responsibility for reach out to we brother and sister them where they die because if we abo say now we big one that we dey look up to for make them solve this issue and they tell you for free we will continue to get people where they die every day when our young people them so now make we take this responsibility say okay in the community where are they now get responsibility in my community at least for encourage the people where they make them left for take this drug it dey cause them danger because of them they die future then they go astray. A lot of people them will be noticing that good potential people them don't they go down on the drain, make we decide for come with this, for can restore that indignity, that hope where they don't lost, we make then they do it and they do so.
The theme they talk about say my community, my responsibility, cushion to food. So what are some of the things that we una for do inside during this camp year so we're going before make una achieve this particular theme for the program?
We get for invite different institutions them for come talk to them people where they come up from different community them because we want everything for being inclusive. Not for man they no more because people if you see a man they no more they push. Woman and self they push. So we want to bring people them we get for can talk to them people are from with different communities, then people when a role model them. Therefore invite nurses, doctors, we therefore invite people where they work in a mortuary, people where they work in a prison, we get for invite police officer, then lawyer, them let them can tell you, so we then catch you. You get for kind of court. When you kind of court, they say you know Panema Road. And Panema Road na so a day. So we get for invite 10 people in here so that at the end of the day, when somebody come yonder, instead go no say I get role for go play and make community. I get people them for go impact. I get lives them for go touch.
Guys, more than listen to you go on for say when somebody in coach when him don't come param, you go on for left for go fena kushti. So how secure that place they for make people not begin here say somebody don't if me this or we don't say somebody can't coach inside the camping and all.
Me they assure everybody say, yeah, nobody know. First of all, nobody need go they commodity. pass the 5 days done. And we dey try for get strong security measure because na one of we focus stand there. For let we get people dem wey na credible policeman dem wey na soldier man dem. So not all kind policeman wey dey care go, not all kind soldier man wey dey care go. Na people dem wey get dignity, people dem wey get passion, people dem wey get humanitarian feeling for know say na young people dem dey die. I no go take this thing and give this. Bible say your pikin no go ask you for bread, you give am snake. You own pikin wey you born, you no go get mind go take push take am you give am. So why you for take am give other people pikin? And when we dey go around as una for go restore dem dignity, for go restore their integrity. So we dey go we get rules of the camp. Wetin people get for go long for and na for change. Wetin people get for go long for na impactation. Like so na so I be don dey waste my life.
Just fit on a limited too.
The one day wey dey upline, if dem kin wan for camp, dem kin still plus the burden buckle for make dem program dey also not really easy. It take a lot. We not that we no want for external. Just imagine now we dey pay transport for them. So for pay for person for come up Kenema, come up Bo Cam, come up Makeni Cam, for now we not too that kind of strong date. And the people dem we able say dem go support, they not even show any kind of interest in wetin we dey do. So that they should say all young people the way they listen to me. If you want for better na this country, full attention by the people wey you feel make you better and pay attention in God and allow yourself for God take you through the process.
So if somebody want for get clarification, reach out to now, I go do that.
Well, you can call 079 03 73 23. 079 03 73 23. You can call whatever question you get, whatever clarification you need, we can able for reach out to you.
What you go want for left foot family where they listen to you? Maybe somebody want for come when the program they start in side.
I want to encourage you when a young person where they struggle with addiction, you get chance for change and God ready for change you. If only you make up your mind. You know, to the worst possible way to ever live, other people in the way they don't do bad things they will pass you. But then come to realization and then change their life. And we dey start the 23 when our next week Monday to the 27 when our Friday this month and our Waterloo camp, then all the place Camp Junction. As you reach there, you ask for the Prison Correctional Center training field. Then they show you the place. I want to encourage the comrade them also. Do ya let for go the curse you picking, let for go the swear 'em, show them love, encourage them, and also support we. Whatever we you want for support we. Let nobody notice that we dey in need. We want coal, one pepper, one yabas, one maggie, one pamine, want all of them things. Then the rest, one bed, one spread, one paste, one soap, whatever way God will lay in your heart for be a blessing. You can be a blessing 037323 and you can call and you can be a blessing. This is a fight we must win, and together we can.
That interview with me is Ibrahim Kamar, also known as the Pine Peking, Hands of Hope Radio 100.5 FM in Freetown. And today we want to look at breast cancer. And I want to welcome again in the studio our guest, Khadija Kone, an oncology nurse at the Think and Pink Breast Cancer Foundation. Good morning, welcome to the program again, Khadija.
Good morning. Thank you.
All right, so before we first of all go deep into the discussions, wanted to please share with us your personal journey. What really inspired you to oncology, specializing in breast cancer care?
Well, I have come across a lot of breast cancer patients in my early years of nursing career, and myself, I've been diagnosed with breast cancer. And when I was diagnosed, people who were knowledgeable with regards to breast cancer, they were there for me, supporting me, giving me the information, that facts that helped me through my journey, my treatment journey, and my recovery journey. Even when I was 10 years ago, there wasn't much that can be done here for any cancer patients, really, unfortunately. So in Ghana, there was this wonderful nurse. She's a oncology nurse. She was there with me through my treatment journey, holding my hands, supporting me, giving me words of hope, encouragements, and obviously also teaching me, educating me about breast cancer. And that education has really empowered me. And so I feel like I want to do the same for Sierra Leoneans here feel that there's no nurses that or anyone health professional who's trained in that area to be able to properly guide and support the patient's treatment. Right, so breast cancer awareness month is a time to emphasize the importance of, early detection. What key message do you believe women should understand regarding breast cancer, breast self exams, and also all those things? Okay, so breast cancer is a real disease. There's some people still out there thinking breast cancer is just a myth or a false story, nothing that exists like that. But it is true because believe me or not, every week 3 or 4 women die of breast cancer, especially those admitted in a hospital because I'm a nurse too at a government hospital. I also care for them, and I see them, the suffering they go through, not only themselves, the cancer patients, but also the family members equally go through the same because they feel, imagine just somebody suffering and you don't know what to do, especially that there's limited treatment options here in Sierra Leone. And those who are detected early, um, they get treatment late because sometimes the treatment is expensive, or when it's time for them to travel out and source treatment in another country, that's where the challenges come through. So it is so important that women are aware about breast cancer. That's number one. Know the facts, know what are the signs and symptoms, because there are many signs and symptoms. And that is where a lot of women get, late detections because they think it's only a lump in the breast that causes, that is a sign of breast cancer. But when in reality, there are many, such as pain in the breast, swelling, change in size, nipple
Delve
discharge.
deep into the signs and symptoms of breast cancer. Think and Pink is known for its advocacy and support for breast cancer patients. So, could you tell us about the foundation's mission and the impact it has made since its establishment in this area?
Yes. So Think Keeping Breast Cancer Foundation actually recently celebrated our 10-year anniversary. So we are there to help raise awareness, engage in a nationwide sensitization campaign for breast cancer, especially, educating people about dangers of late detections and the importance of early detections because early detection is what makes a huge difference, right? When an individual detects a lump or a breast abnormalities at an early stage, it is possible that you can get a full treatment here in Sierra Leone and a cure, before it gets out of control, because that's when situations become very complicated in a sense that the treatment takes longer, and the resources is more than if detected in an early stage, right? So that's the work we've been doing ever since the inception of Think Keeping Breast Cancer Foundations. Reason being is that there was literally lack of awareness in Sierra Leone. Even health professionals didn't know what is breast cancer, what are the signs and symptoms. You can imagine, right? Let alone the common man or woman. So we raise nationwide awareness on breast cancer, and we go to schools, we go to colleges, province areas, we go to marketplaces, deprived communities, and also corporate institutions, because we believe that every girl or woman and man should know what is breast cancer and equally understand how to look out for it. Because one thing about cancer, especially breast cancer, during its early stages, the signs are not very, noticeable. You have to be, it's very subtle, right? So you have to be able to check your breast regularly in order to detect any changes that occur in your breast. So that is where a lot of women get, late detections. They ignore the first year around, and by the time they notice something, it is when the symptoms have really been very pronounced. And in most cases, it's already late. Because one thing about cancer, it start out small, like I said early, you're able to treat it and get a cure. But if you delay, that's when it starts to spread to other parts of the body. Imagine a breast, cancer moving from one breast to the other breast, and the other organs in the chest area, such as the lungs, and the liver, and the spine. Once you get there, that's where the complications comes. So it's very important for every woman to understand what is breast cancer and know how to perform breast self exams.
So, since the intervention of Think and Pink, what difference has this made compared to first? How has cases being, are we having more or has it reduced since the intervention of PPP?
Well, the interesting fact is that I don't believe the cases has increased. Although the impact the Tinky Pink has had with regards awareness raising on breast cancer, a lot of women now are coming forward. I get women who just feel a little pinch. Come forward, hey, I feel a little pinch. And sometimes I'll check and it's nothing really, not a problem. But now a lot of people are being aware. And especially, for example, in the provincial area, like there was somebody from Kailam who got referred by somebody from here to Freetown, who just traveled to that province area and saw this lady and asked her, "Do you know what's going on with you?" Seeing that her breast is swollen, saying, "You know what's going on with you?" She says, "No, it's somebody just belged on it, or they call it mopia. I don't know, or they believe sometimes
Some people say it like the child, if the child.
so a lot of myths I hear, and these are all myths, right? I mean, and they need to be debunked, right? That is where thinking comes in to raise awareness, educate people how cancer come about, what are the signs and symptoms, what are the causes, right? Because there are numerous causes, right? And sadly, a lot of people still strongly believe that breast cancer is associated to witchcraft or spiritual aspect, which is wrong because a lot of women who get breast cancer instead of going to the hospital, they sought out the help of a traditional healer. And most times, 8 out of 10, they're unsuccessful. So they come back to the government and the hospital. And by the time when they get there, it has already gone far beyond
You
treatment.
started making mention of signs and symptoms. I was discussing with someone when he saw the flag. It was like, but women, they normally have the breasts. They have seed in their breast. So how we want to detect that? Okay, this seed is different from the normal seed. So what are some of the signs and symptoms?
Okay, there are numerous ones. You ready? Let's go.
Okay.
So number one is lumps in the breast, right? The lumps in the breast or the chest area, right? How does this look like? A round, hard, sort of like thing, right? It sometimes does move, sometimes it doesn't move. So it's very important any lump detected, whether in both breasts or just one breast, should be reported. Pain in the breast, especially when it's not related to your period, because when some women get their period, they experience some pain here and there or discomfort. No, that's not what we're talking about. A consistent pain even after your period. Then the swelling of the breast. You will have small breasts and one breast become bigger in size, or you will have like bigger breasts and the one breast will become smaller in size. Yes, it does happen, right? So what you look out for. Now the nipple, the position of the nipple. Most nipples are pointed outwards, but if you notice that they're like pointing inwards, it could be one breast nipple or the both breast nipple, that is a problem. And then another one is nipple discharge, right? A lot of women do experience nipple discharges, mainly pregnant women and lactating mothers, breastfeeding mothers. But the color is what should be taken note of, right? So if it's bloody color, like blood, when you cut yourself and it's bleeding, it's that sort of color. Or if it's like brownish color, like our tea and coffee, we drink tea and coffee, right? Or if it's like a mucus, and it has a scent, an odor to it, that is a cause of alarm, right? And now the skin of the breast, right? If it gives off the appearance of like orange peel. Now, orange is in season, rough edges, puckering here and there. That is not a good sign. And if it also appears that the breast is having like a dimple normally occurs in the cheek area, very cute. But when it's on the breast, not a good thing. Absolutely not a good thing at all. Any skin rashes, skin diseases, even skin discolorations, redness or darkening should be reported. These are all signs. And lastly, the shape, right? Okay, like both breasts should look like identical twins. I know I don't like people say that, but if it has the appearance of like or like let's say for example both breasts are like orange in shape, then one breast take up banana shape, that is a cause of concern. So these are a lot, and a lot of women miss that, and that's what resulted to them detecting their breast cancer late. And unfortunately, many of these women lost their lives. Unfortunately, so it's so important to know these facts.
Right, you earlier on made mention of one. So take us to what are some of the common misconceptions or fears that women have about breast cancer, and how can we dispel
these misconceptions of his. Okay, a couple of them I could call is some sort of disease of the breast. They call it morphia. So they sort to herbal traditional healers. There may be something like that, but again, like I said, 8 out of 10 women who think it is that when they sought a traditional healer's help, it sometimes gets worse. And obviously, it is breast cancer. And at that time, the breast cancer has spread far and wide. Another one is they associated to witchcraft. Somebody has put a spell on them to destroy their lives, unfortunately. So, and some say because a baby has bulge on the breast, so it swells by the time it will, heal or get better, in most cases they don't. So that will lead to the cancer spreading to other parts of the body, right? So it's so important that these messages are known and people understand them and let the hospital be their first line of management or treatment. Just come and check out, right? And again, a lot of women are still walking around with these conditions, the signs and symptoms, and not knowing, going about their life. So we want them to take an action this October. October, that's when a lot of noise is raised because obviously, thanks to the radio stations we get invited to help raise the awareness so that a lot of women and men can hear us and then take actions to be aware about the breast. The message is be breast aware. It's basically, for example, if you have a best friend you've known for years, you interact, you speak to, the moment she or she, changes in a personality or behavior, you will pick that up. That is the same thing with your body, right? When you're familiar with your body, you're touching it, you're looking at it, the moment you notice slight changes, you'll be able to detect it and come forward. But imagine there's some women here in Sierra Leone. They would say, I only check my breast October to October. That is a whole year. I'm a breast cancer survivor, and it took me little over 3 months for my breast to go from no lumps to a lump in the breast. That is how quick it can happen. So it's so important that every month is a month that one should set aside and check their breasts. So, so, so important, especially women of childbearing age, as in those who get their menstrual period. Ideal time is a week or 10 days after the menstrual cycle, right? That is when they check their breast. Because a lot of people, again, women, when I ask them, have you checked their breast? Oh, yes, I check my breast every day. And they just squeeze like this, like they're squeezing an orange. No, that's not even the right way because there's techniques in everything you do, right? So it's so important to understand how to properly check your breast in order to be able to detect any abnormalities, right? And timing again. Because you mentioned earlier that some people said women have some seeds or lumps like in their breast. Well, yes, because in a woman breast anatomy, the inside it has what we call lobules, ducts, and fatty tissues, right? And especially when a woman is on her period or experiencing hormonal imbalance, this changes. They become tender and tense, right? And sometimes feel like a lump. But with an experienced hand like nurses and doctors, we're able to detect the right and the wrong. I mean, the actual lump to a false lump. And those are sometimes false lumps. So it's so important that even though you're checking your breast every month, go to a health professional to check. At Think European Breast Cancer Foundation, we have experienced and trained nurses who will be able to detect your breast and give you proper advice according to your specific needs and conditions, right? So it's so important to go for a regular checkup at the hospital or clinic every 3 months. That is ideal because it takes 3 months for my breast to go from no lump to a lump. That's how quick it can get. And thankfully, I detected, and my lump was very, very small, like this fingernail. It's that small, and it is cancerous. And if I allowed it to develop in my breast further, it would have caused, it turned into serious things like cancer and spread to other parts. Thankfully, I thank God that didn't happen because God blessed me with the wisdom and knowledge and guidance to be able to detect it. And I was blessed again. I have like people able to guide me, support me, console me, because it's very one of the most difficult times of a woman's life when that happens, right? So that is why we are there to guide them and help them. There are many causes of cancers, many ways to prevent it, because there's possibility of preventing it. Once you're equipped with the knowledge of causes, you're able to avoid them and engage in preventive. But the best preventive measure is doing your breast self-exam. And at Think Breast Cancer Foundation, which is located at 32 Panema Road or Wesley Street Junction, we teach our patients how to check their breast. We don't necessarily just check their breast. We teach them because we understand that they cannot come to the hospital every month from our data, obviously. Most would not be able to. It's not realistic for most of them. Although it's possible, but they don't. So it's very important to teach them with this, and so that they'll be able to perform it in the comfort of their home. Alright, so we'll delve more into the causes of breast cancer. First, let's go and take just radio program on the airwaves of HandsofHope Radio. Freetown residents have spoken out about their perceptions of what may cause breast cancer and more. Now we turn to Phoebe Kamara, who went around and then sounded the views of these people. Stay tuned for more of what they listened to her.
Ways and means for prevent somebody from getting breast cancer. And if you don't get to breast cancer, like the symptoms just for make you see diseases so they feel some different ways. So that's why they come with different motive. You know, they understand. Go not to doctor. Like that. Let's be keep it. Okay, so you get to your comfort, breast cancer. So whatever they talk about. Yes, if you say, I know me, I don't understand what it was breast cancer. You can see how people like get a normal. But when I when we kind of already say when you check your veins, you say you big lump, you feel you can ask me the question of the chat for asking. Why get lump? You know, say this get lump. So I don't understand. I know what's the cause. I don't know what's the cause. No, no. Person like you see people like say anybody get well, get sorted more than lump. Okay, church people be church. You look.
So wetin you wan sabi for master sabi people dem concerning breast cancer?
Yeah, can be so has to be a lot. What's the cause? So if you try for happy to possible and sabi, when I was answering this, that he don't begin to then we go hospital. Anything they do. Okay. Panali sabi because we all no witness I don't understand but then thing and they anyway because no one dey witness person wey like you sabi person wey get sickness when they so no I don't understand how person can get but person can get cancer. One no like because I know yeah I no one dey witness. I can see people dem can get like okay watch out then social media but no one dey sabi person wey get them thing and then how comes e get am. Because we sef like me I can wan know wetin can cause that anyway I can wan know so that if you know now na like wetin can cause that cancer if we able know like na this na so thing na can cause that so we able avoid.
Sending darts integrates with the camera as citizens within the municipality of Freetown. Don't forget, this is the program to the 90 minutes live on HandsofHope Radio 100.5 FM, and we are broadcasting live from our studios at 28 Baptist Street, Kingston, in Freetown. And we still have with us in the studio Khadija Kone from Thinking Pink Breast Cancer Foundation. Over to you, Khadija. You just had some views of people. A lot of them were like, I don't know the causes of breast cancer. And we have some who say we should put coins. Some made mention of the black there is something inside the bra that is what is if you buy such bra, it can cause breast cancer. So take us through what are some of the causes of breast cancer?
Well, there are many of them. Are you ready? Yes, let's go. Okay. Okay, so why I say you're ready because this can come to like shock to a lot of people when I mention it, right? And some people see themselves in these causes, right? So basically, they're not like I cannot say causes per se because they are basically like just risk factors. If you happen to be exposed or engaged in them, you're at a higher risk. The percentage of risk increases, right? So number one is you simply being a woman. Now that's scary, right? You simply be a woman. Because I believe in mainly women because they produce certain hormones of abundance that is more abundance than in men. And we have more breast tissues. That could be one. Mhm. And the second one could be because of aging, right? The older you age, 50 years and above, the higher risk. Reason being is that your immune system, everything about your body declines, right? Your immune system, your energy and whatnot, right? And thirdly, smoking tobacco cigarettes. I can put it there. Fourth, family history. If you had a close bloodline family member who had cancer, possibility you may be at risk. You know, you may have inherited that when we give birth to you, and it may manifest later in life. You know, popular actress Angelina Jolie, her mom passed away of cancer. Her mom's younger sister also got diagnosed with cancer and passed away. And so she said, okay, you know what? They're all bloodlines. Let me check. There's something called genetic checking, right? Yeah, cancer genetic checkup, if I could put it that way. She did it and found out that she carries the gene that would later develop into a cancer in her life, you know. And she has 6 children. She wants to live long and take care of them. So she took actions to prevent that. And that is amazing, right? Unfortunately, here in Australia, we do not have such facility. So that's unfortunate. So that is another one. I did mention smoking tobacco cigarettes. Not only you being the individual smoking tobacco cigarette, but also being next to somebody who it doesn't smoke, and that innocent individual, is inhaling all this toxic in that also puts her or him at risk. Um, Drinking excessive alcohol, yes. And I realize in a lot of countries, and here especially Sierra Leone, because we're in Sierra Leone, um, there is a culture that you haven't really enjoyed yourself until you become drunk, or local term jack, and that is happening. It's very common, and alcohol has no nutritional value whatsoever. Yeah, it intoxicates in individuals, and it does also lead to obesity in those cases, yes, or damage the liver, which is an important vital organ. Another one, like I mentioned, obesity. Yeah, being fat, overweight can put you at risk, not only cancer, but so many other diseases such as diabetes and high blood pressure. And what next? Eating your food that you eat does have a major impact on your health. Imagine if you eat healthy food, you become healthy. And if you eat unhealthy, we know where that leads, right? So it's so important that we understand what is unhealthy food, what is food that is not fit for consumption. Some of these foods are food high in sugar, high in salt, and especially highly processed food, right? Food that has gone through many, many changes before it becomes a finished product, final product for us to consume. And through those changes, the manufacturers of those producing these products of food stuffs, they add a lot of chemicals in it. Reason being to preserve it longer. Second one is to make it more palatable, like make it give it flavor, make it more sweeter, or have better flavor, and even put something to change its coloring to make it look appealing to the eyes. Yes, it does happen. That's its marketing, right?
Yes, exactly.
Manufacturers do that, and most of these chemicals, in fact, all of them are not actually very fit for human consumption. And if you consume it for a very long time, that poses a risk of getting cancer, right? And so it's important to understand these things in food. And now there's this new foods, these vegetables and fruits that are looking healthy and good for consumption, but they are genetically modified, unfortunately. That's another topic for another day, but simply it means that the scientist has developed the seeds in these labs so that if, for example, an apple takes normally 10 years, 15 years to grow, and this genetically modified types will take about 5 years to grow, half the time. Yes, it's happening with so many plants nowadays, and you will know the difference because the organic, which means it's natural, like how God has given us, it has grown. It takes a while to grow, and its flavor, the fruits and the vegetables, their own flavor, is much more better and different as compared to those genetically modified, which has a very lower taste and they look bigger than the normal ones we know. And is some examples. And lastly, the environment, right? It's so important that another factor of breast cancer, risk factor is, or even all cancers, is the environment. Where you find yourself could pose you at a risk if you're exposed to carcinogens, and these are chemicals or substance that causes cancer. That definitely causes cancer. Carcinogens, right? Take notes. It could be living in places that are burning bush, burning trash, releasing. You can imagine if you burn a bottle of this plastic bottle, it releases toxins, and if you inhale it, you start coughing. It's irritating to you, right? Well, imagine those dumpsters that has all sorts of things in it being burned and all these toxic chemicals being released into the air that we breathe in. Some of them, go into the water that we drink, and in our environment goes in a high hazardous risk to us, right? And another lastly, exercise. If you don't exercise, which is related to obesity, but not only related to obesity, because even slim people get cancer, right? It is the fitness of the body, right? How to maintain fitness of body is regularly exercising. So it's so important to engage in physical activities.
Right. So aside you being fat or you being a woman, which category of people are more prone to coming to contacting breast cancer?
Contacted. Well, I did said women. If there's a
Already
particular
being a woman, yeah,
okay,
a
good
woman.
question.
Which category you
Actually, men too get breast cancer, right? So basically, there is no specific category, unfortunately. Cancer has no respect of age, gender, race, even your social economic status, because the poor and the rich equally gets cancer, right? So but here in Sierra Leone, on our recent data, especially from the cancer registry, there's a cancer registry that take data of cancer cases for all types. The most majority of them is breast cancer, and they recorded a study. If I can remember the figure exactly, 4,000 and some hundreds, and about 3,000 of them have already passed away. That's a very high mortality rate. Yes. So that means that Sierra Leone, we need to step up. Our government, especially the Minister of Health and Sanitation, need to step up and provide a treatment facility much more affordable and standard treatment facility for cancer patients in Sierra Leone because it's becoming a health crisis here, right? A lot of people now are understanding what are these breast cancers, and not only breast cancer, but other cancers coming forward. They're diagnosed, but they can't really complete the treatment because it's not available. It's literally non-existent here and a very substandard. So it's so important that the government, pay attention to the specific area and make provisions, right? When I received, because that time there was no treatment here in Sierra Leone, I had to, I was blessed enough and lucky enough to travel to get donations and travel to Ghana for treatment. But even in Ghana, it was very tough because imagine I moved away from my family, my support group, moved to another country. And though they speak English, but there was still a discrimination going on, especially with a non-Ghanaians like myself. I'm a Sierra Leonean, but they're my Ghanaian brothers and sisters. But I did experience financial discrimination. For example, a Ghanaian will pay something like 100 cedis for a treatment. But if I'm a foreigner, not a Ghanaian, and I go for the same treatment, I pay something like 400 to 500 Ghana cedis. So it's been happening here, and it's happening with others. And that is sad because, come on, I believe this radio, we are equipped to have our own cancer facility here, because think about it. If one has to travel to get treatment alone is very expensive. Now, that doesn't even include the airplane tickets, right? The flight tickets. It doesn't include the accommodation because you're going to a foreign land. You don't know people there. You have to put yourself into a hotel or a guest house, very expensive by the way. And there's means of transportations, feeding, that has all added up to what normally a treatment costs. Let's say a price tag of about 10,000 US dollars. That's only for the treatment. And then you have to add all these flight tickets, accommodations. So it's become more that. Imagine if we had our own treatment facility here in Sierra Leone. I mean, no flight ticket is necessary. Accommodation, you have your own. And more especially, you have your support group and your fellow Surrenderners that are engaged in your care and treatment plan.
Right, so please shed light on the advancements in breast cancer treatments, because someone was in the audio that played earlier was like, we don't hear you say medicine only for breast cancer.
Well, actually, there is treatment for breast cancer, right? But it all depends on the stage, right? Basically, there are four stages in cancer, or when we say breast cancer. There's stage one, stage two, three, and four, right? Stage one and two is so absolute cure is expected, right? And it's possible actually. Stage three and four, that's where it gets a bit difficult because cancer has already started spreading, right? Stage three, there are some people who I've actually nursed and have actually had successful treatments, right? So it's possible to get treatment, but stage is so important. Sooner, the earlier you come forward with any signs and symptoms you notice, the better for you. There are women who would notice this, ignore it, take some painkillers, take them in the pain for the swelling will go away, but it never does, and that is sad. And by the time they realize that it's important to go to the hospital, and they come, it has already been to stage three and four. Stage four now, that means it has spread to other parts of the organs in your body. So cure can be very difficult. Although there are some stories that women have survived, live long again with stage four breast cancer. But again, here in Sierra Leone, it's basically like a death sentence, stage four, and that is late detections or coming forward or receiving your treatment late. So it's so important that when one detects it early, they get the treatment ASAP. Okay, ASAP is possible. I am a testimony here. I am alive. It's been 10 years since I've, been pronounced free of cancer. I can go back to my home and family and continue my life. And I thank God every day for that. So it is possible to get cured, but only if you are breast aware. Breast aware. Awareness is super, super, super important. You should know your breast. Come for checkup. So set aside this month, come down to DKP Breast Cancer Foundation, 32 Panama Road, and get your breast checked. It's so important. Set this day aside. And guess what? Checking of the breast, it takes literally like less than 3 minutes to check. And you don't need any expensive equipment or gadgets. All you need is your hands and a mirror. That is all. That is just all. And if you are very keen on learning how to check your breast, please do come down to Thinking Pink 32 Panama Road, where we will train you how to check your breast and also equally check your breast.
Yeah, Khadija, empowerment is a central theme in the fight against breast cancer. So, how can individuals and communities actively support and also empower people who are affected with breast cancer?
Wow, there's so much that they can do. So Thinking Pink, we're not, our main mission is not only to raise awareness, but to help fundraise, right? Raise money for patients who are financially challenged to receive, diagnosed patients, by the way, to receive their treatment as soon as possible. There's so many ways through donations, through buying a lot of items, such as this bead. It's made by survivors actually at the foundations and volunteers, and it's going for 30,000 yuans. It's a beautiful bead. You can wear it. You can wear it, and it represents as a sign of awareness raising. Um, it helps draw attractions because it's so beautiful and pink. And I hope you get one too. It's part of our fundraising and strategies. But not only that, every October month we host activities, right, to fundraise. Because that's really the only way. But we believe that it's important to also engage in some of the ways of prevention of breast cancer while fundraising. So this year we'll be hosting our mini marathon, right? It's one of the most popular marathon. A lot of people look forward to it, right? We're doing our seventh edition now, so we know that we've been doing it for long now, and it's taking place on the 28th of this month. That's the last Saturday of October, and the race distance is starting from Cotton Tree, our popular starting point. That's where the tape will be cut, and the start point is, and it ended all the way at Family Kingdom, right? So it's a long distance, but imagine you're engaging in physical activities. I mentioned, right? Sweat it out, help circulate the body, tones the muscle, and most importantly, improve your mood and boost your immune system. That is what physical activity does, right? You can do walking, you can do running, and this year we have included the cyclist. Yes, so if you have a bicycle, you can engage in it. It's a race. There's a prize for first and second and third man. Yes, there is a race. And we have so many people on board right now. People are donating, people are buying. There's registration fee, right, by the way. And this registration fee is 250,000 euros for adults, in which you will get a cap, a t-shirt, engage in the sports activity, I mean, in the mini marathon, and have access to refreshments, right? And there is 100,000 meals for children, right? Because this is a whole family experience, right? Not only for adults. The children's, their starting point is at Jijabota, right? And to finish line is Family Kingdom, like I mentioned. For those who don't feel like they want to take up that long distance, right? The other starting point is a 5 kilometers starting at police station Lovely, and finish point is Family Kingdom. All finish points is a Family Kingdom. So there are three different starting points, right? So we encourage everybody, every man, woman, and girls to engage in. Oh yes, and there's a student fee. Yeah, students fee. Your college students, your school, secondary going student, your own fee is 150,000 euros a year. Yes. So for adults, 250,000. For students, 150, and children, just 100,000, right? And this activity has attracted over 1,000 people in the past. And we hope this year that we'll get more than that. And there are a lot of women, because throughout the entire month, just 2 weeks now, we have engaged in various awareness raising campaign and also offer free breast training to those who could not afford for this privilege. Basically, we've been to schools, we've been to 8 schools so far. We screened over 1,000 girls and already detected over 50 lumps. Wow, in various schools. Imagine. We've also been to marketplaces, right? We've been to 3 marketplaces and we've screened them and we've detected a lot of abnormalities. It surprises me all the times. We've been to deprived communities such as Crew Bay and Susan's Bay so far. We'll be going to Waterloo very soon. Yes. And we've detected a lot of abnormalities. And when we ask these women, why haven't you gone to the hospital or, to seek treatment? They say they can't afford it. Their consultation fee alone. And you can imagine they cannot afford the um, treatment. So it's so important to help these women. They understand that their health is wealth, in our period, Wolodin and Gentry, but they can't afford it. You just imagine a market woman who we detected a huge mass on her breast, right? We tell her, why didn't you go forward? It's like, I don't have money. And even if I do, I can't afford to go and pay lots of money for treatment or for a doctor consultation fee. Instead, I would feel like I should feed my children at home, pay their school fees. So it's a very big, huge dilemma for these women. So we want to reduce that burden on them. And donations and fundings is what will help them. So we encourage every individuals national or internationals to please come support Thinking Pink Breast Cancer Foundation.
Right.
We have our Facebook page too, Thinking Pink Breast Cancer Foundation here in Sierra Leone. We have our TikTok and also Instagram where we post all these informations and our activities that we engage in. Oh yes, and we've been on a lot of activities. Just this morning after this program, I'll be going to Access Bank too because the corporate institutions do invite us, their bosses, the MDs or the managing directors, they invite us in. They say, hey, we want you to come and just check all our staffs here for any breast cancer abnormalities, right? And they do. And that is good because a healthy staff is a very productive staff. They do understand the importance of that and help as well.
All right, Khadija. We have some text messages, but before we take the text messages, we'll go for a short break. But as an oncology nurse, I believe you've likely witnessed the emotional and psychological toll of breast cancer.
Yes.
So how can we address the holistic needs of patients, not just their medical care, but other areas like emotional and
Yes. So, and second thing, we realize that when patients get diagnosed and we take them to the hospital, the treatments only focus on their disease, not them as a person, because they have so many needs, psychological, as you mentioned, emotional, psychosocial as well, and not only just the physical needs, right, or the problems, right? So I think in pain, we are there for them in a sense that we help counsel them, right? They have various people who engage in that we guide them, also not only counsel them, but also their families, because that is their support group most of the time, right? So we also educate them because imagine, God forbid, you have a sister who has cancer, but you don't know what to do, what to say, you feel hopeless or even helpless, right? So we're there to guide you on ways to, manage to speak to her, with communications, what you can think you can do to help reduce burdens on her, how to be there and support them. Even your mere presence is a huge support. I had a couple of friends who would say, I avoid this person because they get cancer. They're afraid for looking at AI or talk to them because they think say they can't die. But that is the worst thing you can do, abandoning in such individual. Because at that time, believe me or not, when a patient is sick, they need that support more than ever before. A simple call, hello, how do you how do you do? I know Imona you, but take, pray to God, God will heal you, God gets you in your hands. Then things such conversations, it does brighten the person's day, though she's still with the disease. So, you treat it holistically, as you mentioned. We engage in group counseling and also individual counseling as well. We also help them financially, right? Through fundraisings and donations we receive and sponsorship we receive from various institutions and organizations. And this year around, we had so many supports coming on board. So many clinics has come up and said, you know what, we will offer free breast ultrasounds for your patients. And this one is coming from Sierra Leone Medical Center. They're just a new hospital. They provide a very, very standard treatment facilities, right? Ranging from various specialties. And they said they want to help cancer patients with the blood work free of charge and also ultrasound 20. EcoMed also has come on board. They have been always been our partners who have, provided discounts, especially in the month of October, some of them up to 50% discounts for some various services that are very important for their treatment journey, right? We've had Polyclinic has come on board, all these hospitals you've heard of. We have AMI Expeditionary Healthcare, who is, or formerly known as Aspen Medical, who has come on board to support us. Various hospitals and other doctors and medical personnel elsewhere are coming forward and saying that you know what, this is Cancer Month, Breast Cancer Month. We want to reduce whatever burdens does on these cancer patients. We'll offer half discount of the price of their services they needed. We'll offer free bloods, I mean, the treatments, medications. We will offer gloves. We'll offer this and that. And those little things, they may look as small, but no, they're huge actually in the eyes of patients.